Hey, today we'll go over news about Sony's PSN link response, and it doesn't look too good for Helldivers 2. Not only that, there's an interesting detail you might have missed on the Mech, and there appears to be a supply box causing problems. We'll be talking about much more in today's video. If you would like to support the channel, please tap the like button below at any point and subscribe with notifications on. We are going to go over news about Sony and the PSN link requirement together here, and as I've mentioned at the start, it doesn't look too good. We've got an article by PC Gamer with the title that says, Sony isn't giving up on PSN account requirements for PC games. Company president says it's necessary so people can safely play its games. Yep, so you can already tell where this is going. The Sony team had an investor call where they discussed the PSN link requirements, which so many fans are not happy with on PC. Whether that's games like God of War Ragnarok, Until Dawn, I'm sure there are more out there I haven't mentioned. Anyway, Sony's president chief operating officer responded to a question about Concord and live service games during the investor call. He answered the question in Japanese, of course, and it was then translated to English, and he said this in response. Listen, we have learned a lot, but the way to face the issue regarding PC, for instance, the PlayStation accounts that we have offered, and well, actually by offering them, for instance, sometimes that tends to invite pushback. Before the live service games, in order to maintain order of the gaming, so that anybody can enjoy the game safely, and we need to create an environment conducive to that. Of course, enjoying the game freely and having some restrictions may not call it rule, but to ask the users and gamers to follow the manner, and those balances are very important. We have to continue to seek the best way to achieve this. Well, so far, it doesn't look like Sony is planning on lifting the restrictions regarding the PSN link requirements anytime soon for future games, considering Totoki also responded to another person and said, if you want to use our servers, you have to play by our rules. I'm going to take this as if we're never going to see the blocked regions for Helldivers 2 unblocked anytime soon. This absolutely sucks because there are a lot of single-player games that do not require any sort of server connection, yet they have the PSN link requirement anyways, which shouldn't have it at all. So it doesn't really make sense, right, to have a single-player game with a linking system. Sure, there's games out there that do require a server connection, like Helldivers 2 for instance, which is a live service game, and there are hackers and players who modify the files to cheat or use armors and weapons that are not yet available publicly in the game. Now, at one point in time, there was supposed to be a PSN link requirement so that Sony could monitor cheaters and players engaging in malicious activity in Helldivers 2. But at the same time, why not introduce a new way to monitor the game instead of enforcing a PSN link requirement that nobody wants? None of this makes sense to me, and I'm starting to think that the whole conversation about lifting the blocked regions is nothing but corporate talk. And I don't believe we'll ever see regions unblocked anytime soon. You would imagine there would have been some sort of status update on this, since the last post they created about the concerns and backlash regarding the PSN link requirement was about 7 months ago. And we haven't heard anything about it, no updates, no response from Arrowhead team, besides that there are ongoing talks. For example, the community manager Twinbeer responded to a player who asked if there was any status update on the linking system, to which Twinbeer replied back with, it's even more simple than that actually. We don't know anything more than what we've said before, which in other words is more or less nothing. There are ongoing discussions, and when we know more, we will tell you. Take this as neutral as you possibly can. There is no update yet, no hidden info, no reading between the lines or us thinking the outcome will neither be this or that. We currently don't know more than you do. This response from Arrowhead came 2 months after Sony's response about the PSN linking. So, at least in my opinion, I don't think we are ever going to see these regions unblocked anytime soon in the near future, and you would think that after 7 months, we would have seen another official response from Sony about the blocked regions, but there hasn't been anything. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm bashing on Arrowhead, considering it's not their fault, and they've done everything they possibly can to update us on the situation. It all comes down to Sony, since Arrowhead has no say in this situation specifically. Sony owns the IP, Arrowhead has to listen, and that's really the scenario here. I mean, honestly, I'd like to know what your response is when Sony's president chief operating officer talked about, following their rules, since it's their servers, and what he had to say about the live service games in general. Let me know your thoughts by posting a comment below underneath this video. Alright, on a lighter note, we have a few interesting details on the XO45 Patriot exosuit that you probably missed or didn't pay attention to. The first detail I'm going to bring up is about refilling the exosuit with ammo. On the bottom portion of the legs, you can see a yellow sticker, or perhaps it's painted on there, but it says this: supply box content 1 ammo, 2 stims, 3 taste of freedom. Please report missing content ASAP to your freedom officer. He or she shall then report back to main command. This right here is a fascinating detail, and I wonder if at any point down the road we'll be able to open this hatch on the mech to grab supplies to refill our mech suit, or could it be a little storage area to give us supplies instead? Either way, I think it would be incredible to refill our mech suits somehow, and also be able to open this hatch on the leg to grab supplies as well. There's another detail I want to point out which I thought was really cool. On the sides we have a warning that says, warning, crushing hazard, always turn the engine completely off before investigating issues. Fingers may not be replaceable. Now, not only would it be great to refill our mech suit, but can you imagine being able to repair the mech suit as well? I'd like to be able to get out of my mech and investigate what's going on and what's wrong with it and repair it. If we can take stims to give us health back, we should also be able to repair our mechs. There have been times where I've lost a part of my mech, like the weapons on my right side, so it would be awesome to have a way to fix it. Now, I'm not saying it's an absolute must that we have this feature, I'm just throwing out ideas and thoughts. If you feel differently about anything I've brought up so far, feel free to comment below and tell me what feature you would like to see or what you would not like to see as a feature. Continuing along here, there's one more warning on the side that says, warning, do not stand in the line of fire of the stratagem under any circumstances. I don't know if this is referring to the stratagem launcher from the very first Helldivers game where you could throw out your stratagems while inside the mech, or if it's just talking about watching out for friendly fire. I honestly don't know. I know there's a leak that was discovered suggesting there's supposed to be a stratagem launcher update for the exosuit at some point, but there's no update on when that will happen. Hopefully soonish. I'd love to be able to have a feature like that so that we can throw out stratagems again without having to exit the mech suit to do so. With all that being said, there's a lot of improvements that could be made to the mechs, like being able to add 2 mechs to our loadout, incorporating a stratagem launcher again, and providing the ability to resupply and repair the mech suit. At some point, it would be nice to see a patch that specifically targets the mech stratagems and improves them. Okay, next up we have a video from a player named X_Shade_X who gave me permission to bring up a video that he posted on Reddit about how he felt violated after trying to defeat a Bloodstains with a recoilless rifle and the 500 kg bomb. For instance, right here in this video, you'll see the rocket essentially being swallowed or disappearing. Then Shade threw down a 500 kg bomb that was a direct hit on the Bloodstains, and it did absolutely nothing to this particular Terminid. I've seen reports about how the 500 kg bomb was shadow nerfed. I would like to assume that's not the case, and this very well could be a bug with the Bloodstains instead, yet I cannot confirm or deny that there is a bug currently. But it for sure appears that there's something going on with either the Bloodstains or the 500 kg bomb. Anyhow, funny video, and I'd like to give a big thank you to X_Shade_X for allowing me to show this video and talk a little bit about it. You can find the source below in the description if you all would like to check out his posts. With that topic aside, we're going to move along and discuss the latest Major Order. I'm sure you're already aware of the situation going on over on Borok. There's good news and bad news. The bad news is that it's currently under attack again, but the good news is that it's the very last planet we must defend, and we're almost done with the defense as well. We've got a total of 7 out of 8 planets defended, and it should be 8 out of 8 planets defended by the time this video's up. At that point, the Major Order will be completed, and tomorrow we should see the activation phase, the final phase for the Democracy Space Station. Now, I'm excited about this. It's the last phase that will probably be difficult, being the final phase, so Joel might have a plan up his sleeve. So keep your eyes peeled for the next Major Order. We are for sure getting close to the final phase, so we have to get it done. We are so close to being able to vote using special stratagems and whatever else the developers at Arrowhead have planned. On a completely different topic, it appears the supply box is bugged once again on both console and PC. I haven't noticed this as of late, but a player here discovered a bug with it and said this: supply packs are glitched again on console with stratagems. Then down below he wrote, if you try to use something like an Eagle 500 kg on console with a supply pack, you will once again always consume an ammo pack. Yeah, apparently that's another issue going on again, but you know, man, I don't know. Do they need to do more testing? Do they need to figure something out with these type of bugs? I honestly couldn't tell you, but it is strange for that bug to pop up once again. If you have experienced this as well, let me know about it down below in the comments, or if you have experienced an entirely different bug, just inform me about it. I love to know about this stuff. Speaking of bugs, I do have a funny one to show you guys. This happened to me about 2 days ago, and it's quite funny. So you can tell I'm running, right? But my character's back, or his whole top portion, is twisted around, so he's facing the opposite way. I don't know. It's a funny bug, but it popped up, and I think this popped up when I was holding my Stratagem, and believe it was a charger that was coming at me, hit me, knocked me to the ground, and then next thing you know, I'm twisted around. Crazy stuff. What we're going to talk about now is your suggested loadouts. If you guys would like to be featured, all you have to do is tell me what your loadout is. If you've posted it previously in a different video, comment again and I might just pick it. What we have here is a quick loadout, and this one is by Spine X's. I believe that's how you say your name. And you basically suggested this one because you saw some player use it in your lobby. And what it consists of is using the flamethrower, you know, obviously to take out chargers and different types of bugs. We've got the gas grenade that actually pairs really well with the flamethrower because you can confuse the enemies and then use your flamethrower right afterwards. We've got the thermite as well, so we can throw those at the chargers, impalers, even bile titans, because, you know, if they're damaged enough, it will actually take them out. We've got the HP booster, as you call it, but you guys already know what that booster is. And you said perf main weapon. I wasn't sure if that's purifier or what you were talking about. Not only that, we do have the gas passive, so we can, you know, ignore half of the gas damage. And we are going to be using, of course, the orbital gas strike, and we're going to mix that up with the napalm barrage. It pairs incredibly well with it, and you can actually just sit there on top of bug breaches and just continuously attack them. I mean, it does a great job. Overall, a solid loadout, but I'm honestly not a big fan of, you know, just sitting there and waiting for the bugs to pop up. I mean, it is pretty powerful, I'll admit that, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, just because personal preference. I'm not a big fan of just sitting there and chilling, but I know for a lot of you, this is probably going to be a 5 out of 5 general brash star loadout. So with that, there you go. If you have a suggested loadout, post it below, and again, I might just feature it in the next video. With all the information being said in this video, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured at the end of the video, all you have to do is comment below, and let's talk about the top 3 comments. The first comment here is by Helldivers Survival Guide. General toast of International Helldiver Coalition here. Thank you for mentioning Rada Prime. Myself and the Coalition tried convincing so many servers to move on it. Hopefully we can make it. Well, Helldiver Survival Guide, if you haven't done so already, check out the map there, the Galactic War map. We're very close to completing it, and you should definitely see it completed by the end of today, so definitely keep an eye out for that. The second comment is by IBA Steve, and I believe I've seen your comment below. This is your second time being featured. You wrote, dropped in on Vernon Wells yesterday and was pleasantly surprised to see a flock of birds fly overhead as I was surveying and waiting for my support weapon to land. Just a little nice detail that added to the atmosphere immersion. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Funny thing about that, I've actually saw a trailer before, and I thought there was going to be bots, or actually bugs on bots' planets, because in the background you saw the birds, and I thought the birds were actually shriekers, and I was wrong. But yeah, awesome details, but I think we need more details, like certain things that explain what's going on within the Major Order. Like when the briefing says, you know, we've got electric cage fences, we should actually see those on the planets with the bugs trapped inside, or maybe escaped or something like that. I think that would be cool. And the very last comment is by SpineX's. A Chinese guy in my bug mission pulled out a crazy loadout that worked super well. Flamethrower, gas guard dog, thermite HP booster, perf main weapon, anti-gas armor, napalm barrage, gas strike. He would sit in front of 2 bug breaches and just delete everything. You know what? We've talked about that in this video as well, so yeah, I definitely see your post. So you got the top comment in the video as well as a loadout suggestion as well. So crazy stuff. So those are the top 3 comments. Again, I'm just going to appreciate you guys because really, it's been incredible. You guys subscribed quite a lot in the previous video. We got 150 subscribers. Let's try to reach that 300 goal that I talked about previously. We're almost there. Let's get 300 subscribers in one video. I think that would be incredible. As well as like 2,000 likes within I don't know, 10 hours. I think that would be incredible. So subscribe, turn on notifications when you do, and give this video a fat like. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel as always, and hope to see you guys in the next video.